Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can get things done. This is an assembly that I presented to the year 11s of my school, and as it's becoming 2024 and you probably want to get some things done and reach your goals for GCSEs, AS, A levels, this is how you can really focus down and get what you want to do done. So, the first thing you want to do is make a to-do list. This includes writing down everything you need to do to complete, and I would suggest doing this on paper, a notes app, so you can visually see everything you need to do. When making your list, you should break these tasks into more manageable, bite-sized tasks. If you're a computer science person, you'll know decomposition. Yeah. For example, if I wrote down revised physics and I saw that I needed to do that, that would not be enough motivation for me to get up and actually do it. On the other hand, if I wrote review electric circuits flashcards, I would be more likely to get it done as it seems less time consuming and a lot less effort. To decide what tasks to do, you need to answer yourself this key question. Would I be satisfied if I completed this today? For all the tasks you said yes to, you can mark on the side of that task a little arrow or circle it and prioritize completing those tasks today. Consider each day as you get to it, as you never know what new tasks will be added to the list and if your priorities change. So don't go ahead and plan for like the next 5 weeks ahead, because if you fall behind on that, you'll be less motivated to catch up and get those things done, and your whole plan will fall apart. The next thing you want to consider is when are you actually going to do that task? If you look at the image to your left, this is an idealistic timetable and probably what most people think they should be doing to revise. I was one of these people, and pretty quickly I realized I could not follow it. It was nearly impossible. I forgot that I was human, and naturally, we all get tired and lose energy and motivation to get things done. To follow this timetable, I tried using the Pomodoro technique, which is basically when you set a timer to 25 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes, and repeat. Now, that was all going well until I got to this stage here. 5 minute break. 5 minutes was not enough. Those 5 minutes dragged into 15 minutes and 30 minutes, and after an hour, I was still on my break. Having said that, although this method did not work for me, it may work for you, and you should definitely try it if you haven't already. The problem I found with the Pomodoro method was that during the 25 minutes, I could not finish what I was working on. What I like to do is sit down and work until a task is done and then take a break. But studying is all about what works for you. Now, I'm going to introduce you to something called time blocking. What is time blocking? Time blocking is a time management method that divides your day into blocks of time. Each block is dedicated to accomplishing a specific task or groups of tasks. For example, I have a study block of an hour which I dedicate solely for work. I normally take like 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. as my hour block to do work, and whatever I'm doing during those hours, I'll stop and make sure I'm doing some sort of work. You should consider deadlines and when you want to complete that task, rather than just start it. You'll be more likely to finish a task if you set a deadline. Here are some advantages of time blocking. It counteracts perfectionism because I know myself, I try and be a perfectionist and I try and make everything perfect, and that makes me really slow to actually complete tasks. It makes you goal focused. It gives you an awareness of how you're spending your time, but don't underestimate your time, because if you underestimate your time, it will add to your procrastination and your stress. You should be able to be flexible. So if something comes up that you weren't expecting, like you have to go meet family and friends, you should be able to just put it in and change around your blocks. The next thing you should consider is, when do you work best? Should you be waking up early to study, or do you work better in the afternoon? It's possible to belong to both of these groups. I find that I work best in the morning for a certain amount of time, and then in the afternoon, after I've had a break, I also get along with more tasks. When I say wake up early, I don't mean that like 5 a.m. Just getting up 15 minutes early or half an hour early is enough to fit in a short study session. What I do is, instead of waking up at 7 a.m., I wake up at 6:45 and get changed so that at 7 I'm able to do a little bit of revision every morning from 7 to 7:30. This is so If I didn't get something done yesterday that I should have for today, I still have time to complete it, instead of staying up late to do it. This brings me on to my next point. Even if you are a night owl and believe you are better at revising later at night, still ensure you get at least 8 hours of sleep. People don't realize that sleep is just as important as studying, because that is when your brain creates memory paths which solidify what you've just learned and processed. If you have a task that you really need to do for the next day, I suggest you wake up slightly earlier to complete it, because you'll find that you'll be able to complete that task faster than doing it at night when your brain is already tired. It improves your efficiency and you'll also be in a better mood. Now, creating a study area is key. You don't need anything fancy looking like this. You just need an old table, a computer device slash tablet, a stationery pot where you can put all your stationery that you actually use in one place, your school books, flashcards, or if you prefer online flashcards, that's fine. And if you haven't already, you should invest in a CGP textbook because they are incredibly useful. They use all the spec points for each subject in condensed form. Having a designated study area will allow you to get less distracted when you want to get things done. Firstly, your phone should not be anywhere near this. Even if you keep it out of arm's reach, it will be better than keeping it next to you. You want to take breaks somewhere different, so your brain associates this place with purely studying and productivity. Doing all of this is useless if you just do it for one day and not the next. Building habits now will be beneficial for your exams and for next year. How you study for your GCSEs is likely how you're going to be studying for your A levels. Studies show that it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days for a person to form a new habit and an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. Just so happened that when I was making this assembly for the year 11s, it was actually 66 days until May the 1st, so they had time to make a new habit. I know it seems like a long time to build a habit, and honestly, I didn't know this until I researched it. And I promise you, if you discipline yourself for a week, that habit will form quicker than you think. So just try and promise me that you'll do this at least for 1 week or 2 weeks, and your habit will immediately build. Even if you just do it for January, like those habits will stay. So here's a summary of what I've mentioned today of how to get things done. 1. Make a to-do list with manageable tasks. 2. Decide what you are going to dedicate as your study session. 3. Determine when you work best, morning or evening. 4. Try and improve your sleep if you don't currently receive 9 hours. 5. Think about your study area and try and get rid of any distractions. 6. Can you discipline yourself to study like this for the next week? The week will go by quicker than you think. If you guys have any questions, and although this was only up for the people in my school, you guys can feel free to email me too. I can't promise that I will reply super fast because I am very busy, but I will try and do anything that will help you. Hopefully this presentation helped you as well as it helps my year 11s. If you liked it, do like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I will see you in the next video.